This is MC Fireside Chats, a weekly show featuring conversations with thought leaders, entrepreneurs, and outdoor hospitality experts who share their insights to help your business succeed. Hosted by Brian Searle, the founder and CEO of Insider Perks, and powered by insights from Modern Campground, the most innovative news source in the industry.
Asshole. Welcome everybody to a special episode of MC Fireside. My name is Brian Searle with Insider Perks. We're broadcasting live here at 6:30 p.m. Central at night, Eastern, 5:30 Mountain, Pacific, wherever you're watching it in the world. But super excited to be here live from the OHCE 2020 Expo. You can see the sign behind me here. Formerly was known, and you all loved as here. And we're going to see got a collection here of people who are going to talk about different businesses, their experiences at OHCE, the conference, and we really start. I guess we're going to go around. Let's go around and introduce everybody first. We're live here. Lisa's running the camera behind us. Do you want to just briefly introduce everybody, and then we'll come back, and we definitely want to talk to Paul first about OHCE and all the exciting things they have going on. But Paul, you want to just introduce yourself? We'll put it around, and then
Sure. Yeah, I'm Paul Bamby, President, CEO of OHCE.
And I'm Sandy Ellingson, and I'm a campground advocate.
I'm Ryan Houchins with
Stephen Woodburn with Tent Masters.
live from OHCE. Mike Harrison with CRR.
yeah, Mike.
Tyler Duffy with Camp Life.
I'm Alex Goldman with Deal One.
And I'm Candace McNamara with Staylist Reservation Software.
Oh, now you got to get. You want me to run it? Well, okay. I'm going to get too much exercise here. That's dangerous.
I used to play baseball, so we could throw this thing around. Maybe.
Oh,
How you doing?
Gee, I'm not even on camera. I was doing the baseball thing, and I wasn't even on camera. It was play acting thing. Okay. So let's start by talking to Paul. So Paul, obviously, longtime CEO of Arvik and now OHCE. Tell us a little bit about the thought process that went into the rebranding.
Okay. Well, I have 14 years as the CEO, and I was previously Arvik, but we just reached that point where we hadn't done a rebrand for many, many years, 1992. And the industry is changing a lot, and we just felt we needed to change with it. It was time to do that. So the creative behind it, we joined forces with a agency based in DC called Mechanic. They deal with association rebrands primarily. We had worked it through many candidates, got it down to Mechanic, and then the work began. It was about a year in the process.
So when you were going through the process of, talking to the board of directors, talking to users, thinking about what can we name this? Obviously, you want it to be inclusive of campgrounds and parks and where the industry is going with glamping. How do you end on OHCE instead of an acronym or anything else that probably came across your?
Well, that's a great question. I think what we were most interested in was opening up the tent, which had previously been targeted to private campgrounds only. That was the history of old Arvik. And that's the way the industry has changed. There's so many other organizations and groups are related to the outdoor economy, and we just felt if we're going to lead this organization and this industry, we needed to be more inclusive, and that's our goal, growth.
It's definitely an admirable goal, to be sure, right? So we know you guys have done a lot of good things. We're looking forward to the inclusivity nature of everything you hope to do with glamping and all that. Tell us, you've been here at OHCE for a couple days, right? It's some really good sessions, some education. What are you most excited about? I see you planned something, you knew it was going to happen. What were you most excited about that was better than you expected the first few days?
Oh, wow. Unexpected. I think the whole program has been stepped up measurably. It's not just my impression. I've been feeling around and talking to a lot of people about their experience. And whether it's the educational sessions that we've put out there, the panels that we've done, and this trade show, which I think from all indications is much improved over anything we've ever done before. We have 21 park models on the floor. The most we'd ever had was 7. And then you look at the booths, and we have hired professional people to help us decorate and set this whole trade show up, as well as the whole show. I mean, gosh, you walk into our general sessions and the screens are the size they ought to be for the number of people that we are entertaining. So it's just a higher quality all the way around, I think. And people are telling me that they.
All right, I want to be cognizant of your time, so I want to ask one last question, and obviously you feel free to stay around if you want and contribute, but what is the thing that you're most excited about for the future of OHCE?
The thing I'm most excited about is, like I said, really the growth opportunity. We're lighting up our new website next Monday. So this is an all-encompassing effort. I mean, it's here you see signage and all the things that are OHCE, but to do it right, I think you have to have all the elements working together, and the website's going to be really important for members. And it's the growth opportunity. I look forward to, and actually have talked to over at the Glamping Association. I think, as we have seen some of our states leave us in the past, I think they have every reason to consider coming back now, because it's just a different organization. So it's growth. That's what I look forward to.
Awesome. I appreciate you so much, Paul. And I did lie. There's one last question. What time on Monday morning? Because everybody watching is going to be hitting refresh because we want to see the new brand.
Brian, I wish I had all the answers, but I can't tell you for sure.
We've stumped Paul Bambi. That is literally impossible. The first time it's ever been done.
Yeah, I know they're going through the final tweaking process. So if I were to give you a time, it'd probably be wrong, because they'll beta and rebeta and rebeta that day. But I know Monday is the target date, so check back with us.
All right. Well, we're really excited for Monday. Thank you so much again, Paul. Let's just go. Does anybody else have anything they want to start with that they feel has been really impactful from their time at OHCE so far?
Mike, you always have something great to say. What's been the most impactful for you here?
Thank you. What's been the most impactful? I think 2 parts to this. One is the Innovation Summit on Monday, which was, I wish it had been open to a larger audience. That was probably the best content of the entire conference. A lot of forward-thinking technology, industry evolution was excellent. The New Book team did a great job, putting it on, presenting and collaborating, and it was really, really cohesive. And I really like the OHCE brand relaunch. I presented a session today, marketing, branding, and identity, and so it tied in perfectly of how you relaunch and create a brand. And I think the industry evolution of growing to the outdoor hospitality is what CRR looks at, experiential hospitality, and so I think it resonates with us for sure, with the outdoor hospitality. So that's what's been most impactful to me. Sandy, would you like to answer in return?
Oh, I went right at the camera there.
All right, so we're going to let Sandy talk. I'd love to hear from Steve. From a vendor perspective, how do you feel about the rebrand? Just how do you feel about the rebrand, Stephen, after Sandy talks?
Okay.
From an OHI perspective, right? Accommodation, I feel like this is more inclusive, maybe better for you guys, right?
So I continue to be excited about the energy at the conference every year. You can listen to some of the people talk about how the RV sales side of the industry is down. And so because I work with both, I brought an industry representative to me. He could sense and feel the industry, the energy that's here, because just because the sales side may be slowing, we can't expect those massive sales to be the same like they were during COVID. solved a lot of the problems that we thought were going to happen inside of that. And at the campground level, where the boots are on the ground, we are still record people camping, finding new ways to camp, and the energy has not changed for me. I mean, I come here and I think everybody is still just as excited. So
Awesome. Steven, I kind of teed you up for that. Hopefully you had enough time to come up with a really eloquent
absolutely.
answer.
So the rebrand to me is really special because when people ask me on the street what it is I do, I tell them outdoor hospitality. I'm a vendor. I'm the sales director for Tent Masters. We sell luxury glamping tents all over the continent. Now, RV and campgrounds are probably our primary clientele, but they're far from our only clientele. I sell to wedding venues, to ranches with horses, sell everyday mom and pop places to where they'll have some land, they'll put units up, they rent them out. Outdoor hospitality is a much more broader term, in my opinion, than the RV and Campground Association. And I really appreciate that from a vendor standpoint, because outdoor hospitality is my industry, and it's an industry that I'm very glad to be a part of that's really blowing up considerably year after year after year. We continue to have record years every year, and I'm hoping to have another record year in sales this year. So fingers crossed on that front.
All right. I think same question to Ryan, maybe from Mining. How does, hopefully in your mind, right? Because obviously we don't know yet. We have all kinds of great expectations for where it's going to go, where it's going to change, how it's going to improve. In your mind, where's the best place that can go for Cold River Mining? And please talk about what Cold River Mining is too.
So Cold River Mining does hands-on gemstone mining activities where we set up an old style water feature, like a water tower would be in an old mining town, runs down, and they're able to buy bags that are seeded with rocks and sand, so that they can find the gems from all over the world. That way each kid gets to have that oh wow discovery moment, gets kids excited about something that's not just on a screen. That's part of the reason that we're in the camping industry, right? Is we want our kids to take a break from being on devices all the time. And so one of the things I really like about the OHCE branding is that it really should pull in more of the small glamping locations, places that didn't fit with RVs, right? That's not everybody. That's not who everybody wants to be, nor should they be. So I think it's going to really grow the market. And for a business like myself, I don't have to commit going to a glamping specific show, for example. I can keep coming to the OHCE show and grow my brand.
Awesome. You have never been on the show before, right? So the audience really, like, unless you come to the show, doesn't know all the wonders of Cold River Mining. And
so I've been with Cold River Mining 6 years now. We're family owned and operated. Business has been around for 30 years. We're located just outside Louisville, Kentucky, and we actually are launching here at the show 3 brand new products that nobody's ever seen before. So we have sluices that are completely made of plastic, so that there's never any staining, sanding, maintenance annual basis to take care of things to make it look great. So I'd love for anybody here to stop by or talk to me after the show.
Sounds awesome. Thank you. Free to pop in, and I'll ask you maybe some more questions and things like that as we go forward. But I think maybe same question to the gentleman over here, the Tyler from Camp Life. I know, Tyler, it's been a long time, my fault, right, since we've had a chance to up, and I've seen all the great things that are in your software recently that you've innovated over the last few years. Probably my fault because I moved to Canada and that's a little bit farther away. But tell us first a little bit about Camp Life and kind of how you see, same question, right? How does OHCE help a reservation PMS software system reach more people?
So this is Camp Life. We've been in business. This is our 17th OHCE, I guess you could call it that. It used to be named something else, but it's going to take a lot of muscle memory not calling it Arvix for me. So the rebrand to OHCE is, I think it's good, but it'll take a little bit of time to get used. We've been coming here for a long time. We provide reservation and property management software to this industry, and we have clients all over North America, and very full functional for events and activities, point of sale, electronic document storage, all kinds of things that we do for our customers. And So I think the biggest advantage to
Fireside demos are beginning behind us.
hang on one second. We've got a public service announcement.
All of you who are watching at home right now, this is exactly what you're missing. She's
Yeah.
announcing it right now. They're
Yeah.
probably giving away $1 million prizes, so next year you better.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Sorry for the public service announcement. I think the biggest thing about OHCE and this convention and the advantage that it provides is just interaction with our customer. We have so many customers here, and the chance to meet with them, talk to them, hear about how they're using our software, how much they like it, what suggestions they have, see what the industry's doing, what new trends are out there, where we need to make course adjustments. There's no better place to get this, many of our customers all in one place and be able to interact and just get that needed feedback. It's really a great opportunity to meet with customers.
Awesome. I want to go to just Alex next. And I want to say, please feel free to stay and pipe into anything you want, but there is an expo going on.
If there's no offense, but I'm going to run over to the booth and say hi to more customers.
No problem. Really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Tyler. Appreciate you being here. Go ahead. So Alex is the new kid on the block, only because I unfairly probably don't know who you are. But please introduce yourself. Tell us about the amazing things that you do. He's probably the secret star of the show, guys.
There we go. I didn't want to ruin anything, but you give it away. No, I'm Alex Goldman, so I'm with Go One. So this is my third year coming, so I'm definitely not been
even
here.
Worse, man.
I know. I've been crying for the first 2 years. No recognition. No, but it's been good to meet everybody, and we already have a lot of friends in this industry. So our company comes from industry. We were about 40 years old, and we started in arcades and bowling and water parks, and we've seen how those people have evolved over the years. So I'm still learning about the original brands and Arvik and how it's evolved all the way into OHCE. So I do think that's a great thing. I mean, it shows that there's a lot of intention behind how do we continue to evolve to meet what needs be out there and to be more inclusive of a lot of these industries. And that's something we've seen even in our long time, even starting with arcades, those people needed to be able to say, hey, we need to go from an arcade to things like redemption or go-karts or laser tag. We see a lot of that in this industry as well. People saying, hey, how can we maybe make something a little different? Or even if they don't do that, how can we improve on what we're doing? So it seems the conference has a lot of that in mind. So I really appreciate that. Again, I've only seen 3 years of it, but I see it getting better and better every year.
So as you exhibit here, and as you kind of, is it fair to say, pivot in some ways from another industry into outdoor hospitality, what do you see as your three main products that you think would most benefit campground owners and operators?
Sure. So where we see a lot of our places where we're coming in and where we're a really good fit are people that have water parks or food and beverage or a lot of activities. A lot of people are really putting a lot of focus into cashless capabilities, being able to put value on cards or even store credit card on a wristband, maybe automating, introducing some new technology with being to order from your phone. And we've even put a little bit more into automation even further and really making it easy to spend money because that's what it's all about is, these people are not here to do work, they're on vacation. So how do we make it easy for them to do things? So maybe being able to firewood delivery to their camper or s'more packages, or making it easy if you're in the restaurant to maybe utilize less staff through self-service kiosk or from your phone or just leaving your wallet in the how can we put this on a wristband and make it easy? So that's kind of where we start stepping in and basically introducing a little bit more technology to make it easier.
Awesome. Thank you so much, sir. Again, feel free to stay, but let's go to Candace next.
All right.
Candace, you've been here forever, and then you weren't here, and then you are here. And
It's the shade, yes.
But Staylist is back.
Staylist is back.
They didn't really go anywhere.
We've been here the whole time.
Tell us a little bit about same thing.
Sure.
Obviously, introduce Staylist first.
Yeah, absolutely. So Staylist is an all-in-one platform for reservation software. We also do point of sale. We have online ordering queues. Gosh, the sky's the limit. Two-way texting. Some of the really cool things that we're debuting at the show today. So stop by our is going to be return on investment call tracking that actually has add-ons. So we can actually see there's a loss as well as park queues. So that way, as people are calling in and those phones are ringing and ringing, you can actually do this remotely. So those are some of the really cool features that we have. We'll also be debuting a yield management tool for orphan nights. So if you're looking for that type of software, we mostly work with very high or even just larger parks or very transient parks, because we're from the Smoky Mountains originally, out of Knoxville, Tennessee. So stop by our booths, 208 and 309.
All right, so same question to you.
Yes.
OHCE, how does it impact Stay List?
Yeah, so I would say the biggest impact for me, especially as being a person about 5 years ago and then kind of stepping back into it, going to big tech, this is definitely changing environment. Say exactly what Paul was talking about, exactly what I was talking about. Technology at the forefront for the campground industry, where it was kind of a little bit more dormant before the pandemic. So for me, the most influential thing is being a young professional in this environment. I no longer feel like a professional because everyone is thinking in the same aspect. So having gone through the national schools, really understanding who Arvik formerly was and now OHCE, I can really resonate with the brand. Like the colors. I'm a former, marketing and design expert. So when I really look at this, I see them as stepping into the future of really where camping is going, and being part of that network, knowing that there's innovators here and knowing that there's people that are thinking the same way. That's the most important to me, is that we're growing as an industry, not just necessarily as a vendor or as just a property management software, but as.
All right, so I know some of you have been here. I know Mike's been here attending education sessions. I think Sandy's attended a couple as well. I've attended a few. Maybe some of the vendors you haven't attended as many education sessions, being involved in setting and things like that. But so I don't want to ask about sessions and education. I just want to ask, what do you feel is the most impactful thing that has happened to you so far in Kansas? Take it anywhere you want. Open question. Who wants to start?
The Yard House.
Candace will start.
I'll start. Yard House. The restaurant. No, I'm just kidding. So as far as like the biggest impact on me, current state, since being here.
I think, yeah, personally, right? Like
Personally,
something
yeah.
that has changed you from a education perspective, a conversation perspective, something you learned. Just.
You know what I really love, and I'm totally transparent and genuine, is I love that coming from what could be a very competitive environment. A lot of the property management softwares that are here, genuinely we care about each other, and we're finding the right fits. And I would say that's probably the biggest impact to me, is that we're not necessarily just coming in and saying we want to gobble up the market. It's, hey, Candace, here's this company that really could use you better, and me vice versa, is like, this person is very seasonal. I want to hand you off to Camp Life with Tyler. And I would say that is probably the most impactful and tried to true reasoning why I came back to the camping industry, because it is almost like being at a park. It's a community, and that's the most important thing. So I would say that is the biggest impact, and why I'm passionate, and why I am a partner at this company. So,
all right,
and
I know
this
it's
industry.
going to be hard for you vendors, so we're going to give you a little bit more time to think about. It could be a conversation with a customer. It could be anything that happened on the way here. I'm going to go to Sandy first, because I know it's harder, and I like putting her on the spot. Sandy's probably had 7,500 conversations since she's been here, because she just zips everywhere she wants to go. Most impactful thing of all of that, narrow it down to one.
Oh, wow. The most impactful thing of the whole time has been reconnecting with some people that had gone off in different directions. And then we were able to come back together and reconnect and talk about what we were now doing, and finding that we were actually going in the same direction. It's interesting to see how people in this industry separate, but when you really have a heart for this industry and you're passionate about what's going on, even if you're not together, you're still moving in the same direction. It's like fish swimming in a stream together. And so it's been super cool for me. I love seeing what my background's technology. That's what I love. So every year it's like coming back to my family and finding out what everybody else is doing in the areas of technology and how we can help parks. So just that reconnection and seeing how we're all literally working towards the same goal without working together even. So
Pretty good answer. Anybody have one ready or teed up? Oh,
One of the things that I've really enjoyed, because I go to a lot of the different state RVIC shows, is seeing the micro level at a state, even though Missouri's really large, right? But putting it on a national scale and seeing macro trends is really cool. But in hosted buyer meetings yesterday, I was able to actually take a park from Indiana and plug them in with Jim Button up at Evergreen in Wisconsin and say, you're facing the same challenges that he's already been dealing with for 20 years. This resource that doesn't cost either of them anything, but will probably make big an impact as any purchase they're going to make here at the show. And being able to tie those people together, because I've been in the industry for 7 years, and seeing those people being able to grow and helping them to do that, and it kindness, if that's what you want to call it, but just having that general knowledge because of the individual people I've met on a micro level, but being able to plug them in cross country has been really cool.
Awesome. Steven, you have anything?
Absolutely.
And if you had to set up the tent faster, that is a valid answer. Just
oh gosh,
go
we
ahead.
got about 3-4 hours. I think we had that tent set up, which unfortunately I didn't get to attend a lot of the vendor sessions or the actual sessions themselves due to setting up a tent. But one thing I will echo is there's 21 park models here. We got Plainscraft wagons, we got Conestoga wagons, we got several different tent manufacturers, including ourselves. Community over competition is something that always seems to be the foundation here. I've worked with a lot of resorts, a lot of campgrounds, a lot of everyday people that have land that'll utilize multiple different types of units. And we share a lot of the same customers. We put a lot of tents up at resorts where you're going to see Plainscraft wagons or Conestoga wagons or even teepees. What's nice about the outdoor hospitality industry, though, is millennials, which I'm a millennial and certainly guilty of, is we like to experience things. We like to experience different things. If you have a resort that has a Tent Master safari tent, which I highly recommend you buying one, stop by our booth and check it out. A customer is going to come in, they're going to stay, they're going to open up their phone, Instagram, TikTok, their friends are going to come stay in it, and then they want an excuse to come back. Well, if you have a yurt or if you have a teepee or you have a wagon, that gives you another excuse to come back and experience something new at the same resort, the same location, but just a completely different, unique experience every time. And from my perspective in the RV and campground industry, they've really picked up glamping in the past several years, especially since COVID, because it's just such a unique footprint. It's such a unique accommodation that really just drives that experience. And that's what it's all about from my perspective. Now, the show just started here a little over an hour ago, so I don't have any really impactful moment yet.
It's coming, man. I promise.
Hopefully it is coming. But other than that, yeah, it's just glad to be here, glad to be a part of another excellent OHCE show, and really looking forward to it.
Mike, I'm interested to hear your take. Obviously, you've been here for the whole thing, right?
Right.
So,
First off, I think I want to learn to speak like him. I don't know if it's a Texas accent or that's what I said, Tennessee accent, but it was very charming. And my apologies, I didn't introduce myself earlier. My name is Mike Harrison. I work with CR Hospitality, and we're owners and operators of upscale RV resorts and glamping and storage and car washes and hospitality assets, and we do third-party management services for others. And what's the most impactful? Our vision statement for our company is to evolve the industry to the modern world. That's something that we've been passionate about, bringing innovation to the industry, moving it forward. We partnered with Insider Perks on the first AI chatbot in the industry as an example of that. And why I say that is I tie that into here is my first show several years ago, and I'm excited because what it's evolved to in just a few short years, and how quickly the industry continues to evolve, represented by the rebranding of OHCE, is really amazing. And then at the same time, boy, does it have so far to go. So I think that's what's really cool, is just the dichotomy of how far it's come and how far it still has to go. And as Candace had mentioned, the networking of the competitors. We all have a similar approach of rising tide raises all ships, whether it's education or sharing. And yes, while we're all competing for business, everybody's passionate about the outdoor hospitality industry, helping each other, growing the industry, and so that's what I think really stuck out to me is how far, it's come in a few short years.
Yeah, and I think that's one of, and Alex, I'll give you a chance to answer the question in 1 second. But I think that's one of the most impactful things for me, right? Being here, flying in on Sunday night, having so many conversations with people who went to, there was a special new book event and takeaway tours on Monday with different kinds of educational experiences depending on what you want to learn. There was, obviously the opening party on Monday night. Was it Monday night? Am I right? I'm so old, I forget.
Yes.
I feel like it was Monday night. Okay, Monday night was fantastic. We worked out, shot some basketball, did some really cool kinds of things at the college basketball experience, but just that and the education and the networking and a little bit of the drinking that maybe is too much of the drinking, but all of those things I think add up together to create something that's meaningful for every person who comes here. And for that will be education, and for some that will be playing basketball with somebody that they create a friendship with or a business partnership with. For some people, it will be sitting over dinner or whatever it is, right? And so I think that's the most interesting and impactful thing for me is just seeing that every single person who comes here is different and takes something different away from it. But in almost every case, they get at least one meaningful thing out of it. So,
It's interesting, Brian, and I'm so sorry. I was speaking with a OHCE board member earlier, and I think that's both a challenge and a win at the same time. There's many different audiences that this show now has to appeal to. There's vendors, owners, operators, vendors, PS, tents, and they all need to be inclusive, right? So how do you design content and sessions for everybody? And I think everybody's going to pick something else out, right? Whether it's the networking in the day. I mean, that bar, that's like the best networking location we've ever had.
yeah,
right?
for sure.
And so I think that's what really, to your point, is what really stuck out to me is how many segments the audience has to, the content and the sessions and whatever it may be has to appeal to. And now it's your turn. So sorry.
Now the man, the myth, the legend, Alex.
Well, I don't want to repeat what you're saying too much, but that's what I see as well. I mean, the friendships that you get here, and even when it's just company to company that you're talking, you get an excuse to check in every now and then and say hello. But the opportunities to really get with a lot of these people that you haven't seen all year and really catch up personally and professionally, it really means a lot. And then we did get to go to one session the other day. Snuck away for that one, which I will say it was a packed out session. They had to open the doors just to get people to be able to kind of see. It was very encouraging to see that growth there. But I can see a lot of people that are very hungry to learn and interested in where the industries go. And I'd be interested to be more a part of even more roundtables like that, where it's just, hey, what's working for these people? How have you grown? What's been different? So I'm excited to maybe dive into that more if we have some opportunities here.
I want to do a quick check. Lisa's the brilliant cameraman running this fantastic show and making it all work behind here. Lisa, how many minutes have we been talking to each other? 33 minutes. Okay, we're probably going to cut this a little bit short because I know everybody's got to get back to booths and things like that. But I want to finish up, I think, with one question. I go around the room. Is that fair? Maybe it looks like a living room without walls and ceilings. So, Alex, if it hasn't happened already, and if it has, feel free to share. But what is the one thing that you feel like you need to accomplish for it to be a successful show? Anything that you want to.
For me, it's all about meeting new people, and I think that's everybody's goal in some capacity or another. But I think meeting the people and having meaningful conversations and having a space to do that, again, to learn where the industry is going in the minds of the operators, because I think especially on the software side, we can sit in a room and speculate as much as possible, but to hear the people that are the boots on the ground, they're really in it every day, to be able to say, these are the struggles that I'm running into, and this is the thing that I need fixed and I need help with. That's the conversations I love to have, and really dive into the details to understand that, because you're not going to get a better understanding of the industry from anybody else but the operators that are in it, in my opinion.
All right, and can we just show his boots? They're really amazing.
There you go.
And the socks too.
It's some more Tennessee for you.
If you need, and you don't obviously, but if you needed a reason to stop by Alex or Mike, now you have even one more.
There you go. There you go.
My socks in your boots.
There you go. I don't want to hide them though.
Yeah, they would hide them. They would. Mike, same question to you, sir.
Thank you. And I look at this. Sorry, I got distracted because Erin just walked by with a piece of tiramisu for me. So she saved it and she showed it, and I lost complete focus. So clearly that was important. I look at it at two different lenses, right? I attend the show both as an attendee and as a vendor. So it's an interesting perspective. So from an owner operator perspective, what I'm looking to get out of the show, what's my win is personal fulfillment. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to make as many connections as I can. I want to leave here feeling fulfilled. I mean, that's why I'm in the industry. It's what I love to do. That's my passion. And so as an attendee, that is, my primary goal. As a vendor, we're here peddling our third-party management services. So I'd like to continue to introduce CRR hospitality to the RV world, glamping world, the combo hotel glamping RV world. We all those different venues. So, a win for us certainly would be to secure a contract, but mainly, we want to continue to, gain renown as a top operator in the industry. So I think that would be, for us.
Awesome. I'm gonna let Sandy go first, and then I'll close out the show at the end, and you'll have to deal with me. It's definitely not the best for last.
I have the same goal as I do every year. I always come, and I want to meet and make 20 new friends at parks.
How many are you at right now?
Where I'm already past, way past, but I just want to make connections where I can make a difference in their life and their parks and give back to them. Because I was a camper a long time before I started working in this industry, and this is my giving back season. And so, yeah, I came with 200 business cards, and I have none, and the show just opened an hour ago. So,
it's a good strategy. I like it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, okay, I'll start handing out yours.
So, well, let me ask this, right? So, 20 has been your mark. How many years have you been coming to Arvik/OHCE/
9 years.
Has it always been 20?
Well, I wasn't really
I'm trying
working.
to figure out your goals and aspirations here, Sandy.
I wasn't
that ceiling.
I wasn't working technically in the industry the first 2 years, and then the last 7, my role has changed many, many times. But it is always to find people that I can connect with and pour back into their life as well as pouring into mine. So the number changes from year to year. With my workload right now, 20 is about all I can take on.
But you handed out 200 business cards.
I know, but I can hand them off to other great people because a lot of them, they just need a good recommendation. They're looking for a property management software. They're looking for somebody to manage their park. They're looking for a connection to a builder. And that's what I've spent my life building, is that list of people that will take care of my parks.
So that's fair. If you come away with 20 new people who you can help.
Right.
But I thought you said 20 people you're just going to meet. So that's my...
No, 20 people that I can help change their life, and they can change mine in exchange.
That's so easy, though.
Yeah, for me, yes, it is. I know. I'm a wimp.
That's easy.
I know.
My answer feels so.
I need to challenge myself more, maybe.
For anybody who knows Sandy, she figured out somehow how to take an Uber X from the airport with 4 people and meet 20 before she got to the convention. So I don't know how it happens. Yeah. So anyway.
That'll be on our performance evaluation.
For sure, absolutely. So I think we're going to wrap up the show a little bit early, just because we're doing this live show and we have the blessing of having the 2 vendors here. We've had some people who gave us a few minutes of their time. They're headed back to talk to people, and it's just a special live episode, right? But I think, for me, if you ask me the same question, I rarely, I guess, put myself on the spot, but I approach it the same way Mike does, from different angles, right? So I'm here primarily to cover this as a journalist for Modern Campground, and so I am recording all the sessions. I'm sending it back to my team, and they're writing articles about it. We're doing, obviously, this fireside chat. And so from that perspective, it's already been a win. We've already created articles. We've already created content. We've shared that with the people who maybe couldn't make it this year and will make it next year. We've, again, disseminated as much knowledge as possible from the expert people at the new book session and from the sessions today and all the award winners and all those kinds of things, right? And so that's a win by default, just by showing up. I think, I'm not a vendor this year, so I don't really qualify for that. But I think that, the other hat is just the same thing that everybody else does. And I feel like the reason we have you on the show, the reason we have Sandy on the show, the reason we have Alex on the show, the reason we have the guests we do on the show is because we've been lucky enough to be able to identify the people here who share a similar philosophy. And that is, we want to connect people, we want to help, we want to give back. Can I?
I'm helping.
I'm kidding. I appreciate it. But so I think that, from that perspective, now you made me lose my train of. I think I just saw Erin with a tiramisu. There's Erin. She's right there.
Hey,
She's eating
I'm
it.
looking forward
No,
to
she's
that
not eating it. I'm
tiramisu.
just messing with you. She's not eating it.
Serving others, give back.
Serving others, giving back. I think that's, ultimately what is the most impactful thing for me when I come here. And I don't know. I had something probably good I was going to say, but I'm really good off the cuff. And no, it's fine. I'm making it all up as I go along anyway.
I'm clearly fired.
No, and so whatever that is for everybody else, right? So maybe I succeed, maybe I don't, but ultimately, like, that's how I feel fulfilled, is kindness and giving back. And we were talking about the different people that we have on the show, right?
Yeah.
And so those are the people that all kind of share that same philosophy, that give back to the industry. And a rising tide lifts all ships, right? And I understand, and these people here understand, and our guests that are regularly on the show understand, that by simply giving of your time, even if you don't end up making a transaction off of that, that one day you will win as a result of that, either in life or in business. And either way it works out, it's a win. So that's all I got. Any final thoughts before we go?
Here, here.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of MC Fireside Chats, live from the OHCE. Really going to have to get used to saying that.
Live from
OHCE, live from OHCE. The Outdoor Hospitality Conference Expo 2023. We're all going to the expo now to do some shopping, except for me. Well, maybe, can I have your credit card? Thank you. I'm going shopping. We'll see you guys later next week on another episode of Chats. Lisa's going to end the show now. See you guys later. The outro. You're going to hit the outro. There we go. Okay.
I'm going for the tiramisu.
Joining us for this episode of MC Fireside Chats with your host, Brian Searle. Have a suggestion for a show idea? Want your campground or company in a future episode? Email us at hello@moderncampground.com. Get your daily dose of news from moderncampground.com. And be sure to join us next week for more insights into the fascinating world of outdoor hospitality.